Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here. Welcome to a video all about just getting a little bit better at Mortal Kombat. I've been doing a lot of lessons lately. A lot of people, I don't know if they're in quarantine and they're, or if more people just, taking the time to get better at Mortal Kombat, but I'm doing quite a few of them. If you're interested, link down below. But, yeah, I've made videos on all these topics before, but I thought every once in a while it seems like I have to do a little bit of a, a refresher with, the people that I teach, and, I thought it might be good for YouTube as well. So these are like 5 of the more common things I've been doing lately to try and, remind people to, get their stuff together kind of thing. So no particular order. These are all important things. So, yeah. And of course, if you're new here and you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing. I also have a playlist called From the Ground Up, which helps with all sorts of, from basic to pro kind of things. So you'll find a lot of this content in there. So the first thing that I find is managing your meter. Whether it's your defensive meter, your offensive meter, or your life bar, your life meter, they're all meters. So, I mean, I can't be the only one that's gone to do a wake-up attack and get this. You know what I'm talking about? And then you're like, oh, I didn't have any meter. And then you get punished because now you're just super negative. So some tips on managing meter that I like to use is try and pay attention to it, like when you're in a combo or a string. For example, I don't really know much with Scorpion. I have no idea why I chose him to begin with, but like Katana, if you're getting hit by this, or you're getting comboed by this, and you don't want to break out, this is a good opportunity to just kind of look around at all your meters. Like, you're stuck in this combo anyway, so like, what else are you going to do, right? Unless you want to break out, or there's a guess that you have to make at some point in the combo, you might as well take a second, look at your health bar, look at your opponent's health bar, look at their meter, look at your meter, and that will also help you plan your next move that you're going to do once said combo is over. You can also do this with your own combos once you get comfortable enough with your character to not have to worry about dropping the combos. Like right now, I'm looking around, there's that meter, there's his meter, life bar, life bar. So I just did a 4-corner check and did my combo all at the same time. So once you become comfortable enough with that, just make sure you check your meter, see where you're at, make sure that you're not going to do one of those on wake up. Also, if you're spacing, you're playing the spacing game, you can take a second to look around, say, okay. Sometimes that can actually help you determine whether you're going to do something unsafe or not. Like, say, okay, I'm going to go for something that's full combo punishable, but I have my breakaway, so if he punishes me, I'm going to use it. And, not the best strategy, but, that's just an example that I'm trying to say, Or I'm going to go for this, because I see that he doesn't have enough defensive meter or offensive meter to flawless block attack me, right? So keep in mind that that's not always a thing. If you flawless block this, I'm still punishable, just punishable with a regular move. So you don't have to use meter for it. So that was my number 1, is meter. So number 2, and this is an interesting one because it's always like the first thing that I help people with, but I'm noticing it at different levels, is jumping. So like the main thing is right here, like this range here, super nice to just jump in. But I've noticed it a lot actually recently in a match I did the other day, where the person was jumping a lot from here to here to try and get movement, get closer by jumping. We've all seen people that jump from here to here to here, but if you're, if you're watching this video, A, that's not a good idea, and B, you're probably past that. But yeah, jumping to kind of clear space isn't really a great idea. A lot of the times most walk speeds in this game are pretty good with the exceptions of a couple. Just walking forward, doing some wave dashing. I haven't practiced that, but you might be good with it. Really good form of movement. But also, if you're having trouble getting to your opponent, if you can close space outside of maybe some hard zoners, if you can get to here, a lot of the times, they'll come to you. Like, you just play your spacing game, and jumping will get you nowhere, especially if you do it consistently. So moving in and trying to force your opponent to come to you is usually a better option than just going for a jump. Whether it's a jump that you're not going to get anti-aired, particularly with here. Of course, some characters can still anti-air you from here, but of course everybody can anti-air you from here. But jump kicks are a bit of an exception. They're kind of inconsistent. But anyways, don't use your jumping for movement. Bad idea. Figure something else out. Or at least you don't use it consistently for movement. So number 3 is mix up your strings. Not every string is useful, so I'm not saying use every single string, but if you're kind of start to find a reliance on one or two, one big one is Katana's back too, and that's something I'm working on right now, is I rely on that string a little bit too much. and I've been trying to close the distance some other ways. And you know, with that, some people like to jump out of it, and then I'm just stuck whiffing this whole thing. So that's when I started like doing this, and then I'll bait the jump and get the 1-2 that'll anti-air them out of it. This is a string that I've been using quite a bit of. You know, Katana may be a bit of an exception to in regards to whatever character it is you play, but I mean, go take your character into practice mode, go through every string that you have and just see what's useful, what isn't. Shang Tsung has a whole ton of strings. I don't use half of them as much as I should, but you know, that's something I need to improve on, and maybe you need to too. Maybe you just have a reliance on like this string and this string, and that's like all you use. Maybe go into, you know, your moves list and say, oh, I have that string. Oh, I have this string. Oh, I have this string. I totally forgot about all of them. And mix them in there, because, you know, they might throw somebody off guard, or if you just do a string that's unsafe, but your opponent isn't familiar with that string, you know, it might work out for you. Don't rely on those, but, you know, something to throw out every once in a while just to, you know, let them know that, you know, you got a whole bunch of things to think about. You're not just worrying about how to counter one string. So that kind of goes, the last two kind of go into my number 4th one, which is understand your spacing. Understand where you kind of want to be, where your character thrives. I played against somebody today who was having a really hard time with Kodal, but he was playing exactly where Kodal wanted to be. So, and this is just working on matchups and figuring things out. You know, Kodal kind of wants to be in this range here, you know, his forward 2 and, you know, all his advancing moves are really good. So once he kind of gets right up on you, he becomes a little bit more unsafe. Ascension's a bit of a different animal because you got the command grab. But yeah, in most situations, you really don't want to dance around this range with Kodal. So, you know, once you figure that out and find out where you want to be, and shimmies, use shimmies. If you're unfamiliar with what a shimmy is, it's where you're going into the range that a character, I don't even care about my dog right now, I freak out all at once. You go into the range that the character wants to be at, and then you just kind of dance in and out, and then you wait. They're going to whiff a move, like a Scorpion's forward 2, for example. I think it's forward 2, maybe it's back 2, with the big sword. But the first hit whiffs because you're spacing it properly. You go backwards, and you come in, bam, crushing blow. Because you outspaced them. A lot of characters have crushing blows on things that counter or punish, and that's a really good way to get your crushing blows out, get your punishes out, and just make sure that you're spacing properly. And that brings me to my last and final point, which is something that I've touched on a lot lately, and it's something people really don't think about that much, apparently. I thought that was pretty obvious, but maybe you did too, I don't know. But is crushing blows. Make sure that you utilize your crushing blows. My mantra is always to end every single match with 0 crushing blows left. Not always possible, not always happens, but I'm always constantly looking for them, thinking about ways that how I can get them. The spacing thing is one of them. How familiar are they with this string? You know, are they trying to flawless block? Maybe they miss. Maybe they don't know that I can do the 50-50 here, and then I condition them with low. Do the low a couple times. And bam. Hit them with that. So, crushing blows just net you so much damage. There are a lot of bad crushing blows, so like, there are some that I'd be like, yeah, maybe just don't worry about that one. Some have a little bit more difficult requirements, but I mean, they're not impossible to get. So, what I would urge you to do is, after watching this video, go into practice mode and look at all the crushing blows that your character has and say, how much do I use this one? How much do I use this one? How much do I use this one? Could I be using this one more? Could I be using this one more? What situations could I use this one in? Crushing blows, it just seems that when you hit them, the opponent just has like I don't know, it's like a fear in them or something, like, especially with the ones that launch, you know, they always break away. So if you have some sort of armor move, there's your chance to hit the armor move, right? And get a little bit of extra damage for it. So crushing blows, make sure you're utilizing them all. I see so many missed opportunities from missed crushing blows. So super, super duper important. So that being said, those are just 5 reminders for you in high-level gameplay or Combat League that you might need a little refresher on or just a little reminder on. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't, because I make new videos almost every single day and streams quite often throughout the week. Hashtag Bonehawks and all that stuff, and we'll see all you guys in the next video.
I am I'm stupid.